This isn't your usual vacation vlog. There's no airport, no passport stamps. What I needed was a reset for my mind, my body, and everything in between. Because the truth is, I was not okay. Mentally, emotionally, physically, I was unraveling. So I took the time, not to escape, but to reset. Sometimes self care isn't candles and bubble baths. Sometimes it's sitting with your truth and saying, I can't keep going on like this. This week wasn't about healing everything, it was about showing up moment by moment and trying to remember what it feels like to care for myself, even when I don't feel like it. I started off the week just trying to move my body and slow down my mind. I didn't feel motivated, but I needed a moment to reconnect with stillness. I didn't want to go to the gym, but I did. Not to fix anything, just to move. Sometimes showing up is the only goal. The first rep is the hardest.
I think that was a good workout. I still have newbie form. So don't make fun of my form, guys. I'm trying my hardest and I'm learning and we're slowly getting there. But I think the next task in this vacation is probably going to be the beach. But it's raining right now, so that might either happen today or another day. But we'll see. There's something in my eye. That may either happen today or another day, but we'll see.
Soft sands under feet, waves touch like a beat. Golden skies all around, where the love is found. Breezes whisper a song, nights that never feel wrong. Moonlight dances so bright in this endless night. Beach vibes calling with the tide. We're falling into sunset dreams, where everything gleams. Palm trees swaying slow, hearts in rhythm, no. Tides rise with our cheer, feeling you near. Stars paint the sky so high, ocean.
Today I'm feeling pretty chaotic in my brain. So a good self-care thing is usually coming and talking about it. So fun fact, therapists have therapists. The more you know. So obviously I'm not going to bring you into therapy with me, but just to clear my head and rearrange some of the thoughts to help me rest, recover, recuperate on this vacation. Had a pretty good session. Um, I feel lighter. I feel like if the thoughts are less confusing and I was given perspective and things are now a little less amplified. Because usually when you struggle with mental health issues, it feels like if everything is times 10 and is able to sort that out and talk about it and realize that things aren't as bad as they feel. Having lazy mornings and forcing Booker to I let the morning be slow, giving my body softness instead of the pressure to get up and go and do something quote unquote productive. I just wanted to be gentle with myself. So I stayed in bed longer and read until I had to go to my next appointment. Felt like if I cared about myself in that moment because I really just let myself be, because I usually sit there with the thoughts of I should be doing something better. I should be working. I should be better. I should be more. Instead of just allowing myself to be still and let my brain take a rest. Instead of just allowing the stress to take over my mind and feel so chaotic. Even after my session yesterday, I just was so distraught with the fact that like I wasn't feeling perfectly fine. I was giving in to all of this self-care and doing so well, and it still wasn't making it 100 times better. I wasn't at a full 180. What is going on? Why am I not just doing better? One self-care day should have been fine. Two self-care days should have been perfect. Well, that's not how it works. I don't need to be up every single day pushing myself, trying to prove that I'm doing self-care correctly. That's the part of self-care that I struggle with. The trying to do something in order to make it self-care.
because lying still couldn't possibly be self-care in my mind. I have to actively like make 1,000 appointments and go to all of these appointments, and that would mean that I'm finally taking time for myself. And while it can mean that, and sometimes it needs to mean that, where you do make appointments for health, hygiene, etc., it doesn't always have to be that. And in doing a mind and body reset, there's a balance to it. So your body does also need the reset by the moving and going to the gym and the stretching and the massages and the physical appearance and hygiene. But the mind also needs a reset because it's so tired from working all the time, overworking all the time, and the stress that we put on it, the strain that we put on our minds. Mental health is just as important as the physical health. They work together. If we don't pay attention to the fact that they work together, we'll be focusing on one and the other will just be unraveling, deteriorating, and then the thing that we're focusing will never get better. Hello. Hey girl. You can be the most fit physically. And if your mind is not there, you will not achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And mentally, you can try so hard to say mental health over physical health, but then that wouldn't be true. If you're not putting your body and yourself first, then you're not actually being true to the mental health. You're not truly taking care of yourself. There's so many different factors and aspects of life. We really need to pay attention to that because we don't often stop and think maybe there's more than just this one thing that I've been doing. Maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to open our eyes and realize that we need help. We need to stop. We need to stop promoting and normalizing overworking yourself and not taking care of your mental health, and sometimes not even taking care of your physical health. We're saying that burnout is okay, and that if you're not burnt out, like you don't get that badge of honor, you don't get the claps, the applause, the approval of other people when that shouldn't be true. We're enough, and we need to take a step back and take care of ourselves, especially with everything that's going on in the world. A mental reset is needed. A body reset is needed. Friday was the hardest day of this mental mind and body reset for me. I didn't want to be there at the gym. I was exhausted, and you'll hear in the voice note that I recorded while I was at the gym that I was done. The week had helped, but I was still not okay. And I want to say that out loud because showing up for yourself doesn't always feel good, and healing isn't always a straight line. I'm struggling so much right now. I really don't want to be at the gym. I'm currently at the gym. I'm just on the verge of just crying all the time. I'm so exhausted, but I'm trying to do something good for my body. I've been meditating the past couple of days, more so in listening to music, like sound therapy versus visualization meditation. And I'm, I don't know, it was helping. It's been helping. And I've tried to push myself to be at the gym so that I can get my body moving.
I've taken a couple walks here or there, but mentally, I don't want to get up. I don't want to move. I don't want to eat. But I'm really trying to push myself to keep going, to put one foot in front of the other and take it one step at a time.
I didn't film this to glamorize self-care or suggest that doing yoga and getting mani-pedi will fix your burnout. I filmed this because I needed to remind myself, and maybe remind you, that reset isn't a luxury. Caring for your body, caring for your mind, doesn't have to look perfect, even though I did do the stereotypical self-care things. It doesn't always have to look the same for everybody. If you can do a breath, deep breath, for the next 5 minutes, that's valid. If you don't have a week off or access to therapy or the energy to stretch, that doesn't mean you're failing. But you can look into it. Look into a way that could work for you. This is a snapshot of me trying, not fixing, trying. And that, for now, is enough.